the most talented people who comes into the ecosystem, build their skills, and build great things in future. So this is the investment to, while looks like we are investing in you, it's an investment in our own future to have wonderful folks like you, join the ecosystem, build in our ecosystem, and do wonderful things. So very warm welcome to you all from our side. And today I will be joined with my colleagues, Rahat, who is joining us from New York. He is the technical evangelist for the team, and he is a rapper. If you get a chance, if you can make him rap today. We also have folks joining from India, Akash ji. Akash leads everything Polygon developers in India. He's the lead for the whole region. He is one of the first behind designing the program, building the program, as well as you come through today. He has been involved in every step along the way. So thank you, Akash ji, to make this program from a dream 3 months ago to a reality that we are seeing today. Definitely with support from the dev team. Ankit, I'm pronouncing you guys correctly, right?
Yeah, we're Deffolio.
Yes, the Deffolio team, sorry. Cool. Before we get started, I would like to ask if any one of you have any question or anything before we officially start. Akash, I'm assuming that we have a presentation to share, right? Before we get started, anybody has any burning question that we should answer? So I will take the silence as no, which is always a good thing. But why don't we start with the presentation, Akash? Akash, you are on mute. You're still on mute. Akash, you want me to share the presentation?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm just presenting the slides. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go ahead. Cool. Yeah, we can start now.
Okay. Since nobody had any question, I will continue to hold the mic. First of all, very warm welcome to all of you. As I was saying, you guys are important to us. And I'm looking forward to learn as much from you guys as you are. I'm hoping that you learn from this program. We want to learn from like how the program is doing, what do you learn from it, what else we can do better, and what additional support do you need to really make it big as we go out into the future. Many of you, I am assuming, are going back to school, and many of you are going into the workplace, or many of you, I'm hoping, are also starting your next Facebook of the world or next Polygon of the world. So really excited to see, and I'm hoping that relationship does not end after the end of the fellowship. I'm looking for us to establish that relationship that goes beyond this fellowship, and you become the part of the ecosystem and continue to have this kind of the relationship last forever. So really looking forward to it. With that, welcome to the class. And these are some of the data that Akash shared with me. It felt like we guys make you go through the IIT exam, sort of a thing, with 10,000 plus registration. The folks that have shown the interest, 3,500 applicants, 0.7% acceptance rate. when I look at these numbers are better than MIT, Stanford, and all the prestigious Ivy League schools in US. So I hope that you guys take a chance to celebrate it, and I really want to welcome you guys who like able to appreciate really able to appreciate of the competitiveness that we have in the program. And I thought, Akash, at least you will be with me in terms of clapping. I was the only one clapping. So can we take applause for you know this is really the um, give me 1 second. My boss is traveling to Seattle today, so I want to make sure he knows where to travel to. But anyways, but again, as you can see, this is really a wonderful thing. So, like many kudos to Akash and many kudos to our partners. Divyanshu is here too, from the DevFolio team. Like these guys have really driven a very strong foundation for the program in terms of the marketing and building the program too. So congratulations, Divyanshu. Congratulations, Akash. Like looking at these numbers, when you look, you are creating something meaningful, creating something wonderful that people are invested into. So again, could not be more proud for this team to put out this program, and looking forward to be even prouder for as we see you guys learn and graduate from this program. You know, so I'm Dalip Tyagi. A short introduction about myself. I lead the global developer relations team, and in developer relations team, my purpose is very simple. Like I always say that our number one task is to just connect emotionally with our developers. I want to see the us being that Nike of the world, right? That is not focused only on building shoes. They are the basic necessity for any athlete to win, but really focusing on the athlete, on what do they need and how do we come to support that athlete. And in my mind, in our business, the athlete is developer. How do we connect with you emotionally so we understand your needs, whether it's technology, whether it's support, whether it's program like this, where we can help you, to be successful in this journey. Web3 is a brand new space. Not many things exist in terms of the established curriculum, established universities that exist for Web2. So how do we learn while we are on that path together with you and emotionally connect with you so that we understand your needs, so that we can make you that athlete who is able to run both sprints and marathons. And what is in it for us? Like, I think that if we do things right, we will be the platform of choice. You guys will have the confidence in us that we think more than today. We are here for more than selling. We are here for more than just coming and having the transaction with you. That's why the word relationship is very important to me, and putting you guys on the pedestal is important to me, because you are that athlete that's going to make us win, that's going to make the whole Web3 win. And if you look at this slide, Akash changed the slide, but originally the slide was that why we focus on developers, right? If you look at our leadership team, right, all of them, from Sandeep, Sanket, who is also my manager, to JD, one of the original founding members, Mihalo, Anurag, and Jordi, they are all been developers. So this is in our DNA. As a company, we believe in that thing, right? And if you look at the mentors that are going to come into this program over the next several weeks, all of them are coming from the similar background, that everybody has been involved with developers. I have been involved with developer ecosystem since my early days at Microsoft. I was part of the team that was called DPE, Developer Platform Evangelism. Back then in 2005, there were not many companies that were investing the kind of money that Microsoft was investing in. And today I can tell you that I think their market cap has gone down with the market crashing, but their upswing momentum over the last 5 or 6 years under Satya, that developer ecosystem has something to do with it. The Google has thrived on this developer ecosystem. Most of the big platform players thrive because of the developer ecosystem. And this is our strength. I totally believe that it's our strength and how we're gonna win in the marketplace. And that's why we are bringing the folks who have the development background, and we are investing in the folks who are interested in development. So I hope over the next several weeks you are taking advantage of meeting with the wonderful set of advisors who are coming on board, and asking them all the tough questions, right? As I said, the connection involves like how you build things, why you build things, and also what are the challenges you face along the journey. So don't hold back on your questions as you're talking to the mentors, because all of them have come from very similar background that you're now starting the journey on. Now I want to talk a little bit about Polygon as well, like why, while we want to invest in this space, like why is it important for you to consider us on that journey? We want to call ourselves backbone of Web3, or the infrastructure for Web3, or AWS of Web3. Right? This is how I want to think. That means we have some product benefits that we offer. Like if we say we want to be the infrastructure, what is unique about us, right? We use Ethereum as our settlement layer. And then we build the solutions based on that. We reduce the fees in our ecosystem. We are faster than Ethereum because we are able to do our solutions, right? Now, even our zero ZK technology that is in making, coming out soon, this is going to even be much more lucrative, right? And more importantly, particularly for you guys, right? We are seeing the world is going through upside down in terms of the temperature, in terms of the pollution level. We are one of the few chains that are carbon negative. So yes, we are good for performance. We are good for career development. We are also good for environment. Like I don't know if I can be more proud of a company that delivers that kind of a product support, as well as delivering good for the world. And you will see that we are successful across the spectrum, right? Whether it's the gaming community, whether it's the NFT community, whether it's DeFi community, whether it's now the Web 2 is coming on board. I wouldn't say the Web 2 is fully on board, but as these guys are coming on board, you can see that we are across the spectrum, with early adopters, with folks who are just tinkling with the idea, and the folks that are no clue about it. So we are touching each one of them across the spectrum, and that's where I think the future is bright for you guys, whether it's just for the skill building or whether it's for the building your own startups by the end of this program. And I also want to call out, while we have a great product, we are seeing a great adoption from the developers. Right? This is where I hope that you guys are going to show up in one of these numbers too. In the last 6 months, we absolutely have a hockey stick. Right? We have 6x growth that we have seen in the last 6 months. I was told the May numbers. I don't have the full acceptance of what it is, so I didn't include those numbers, but those numbers are even more lucrative. They make even hockey sticks looks more steeper. That means while you might be seeing there's a little bit of softness that's happening in the marketplace, this is still a builder's market. We are still growing really, really hard, and this hockey stick is probably one of the most interesting and amazing thing I have seen in my 20 plus years of career in the tech industry. And a couple of things to call out, like probably you guys have much more support than we normally offer to our developers. But when we think about the developers, like we normally think about like how do we engage with them? How do we make sure that they're aware of the latest programs and products and how they can follow us so that they are fully aware of it. In this case, like we are delivering to you in this classroom setting. So I'm not going to spend more time, but this is more like some of the resources that we have available that you can continue to use if you haven't seen them before, from our website to blog posts to our Twitter accounts, that you are aware of the latest and greatest. Akash, if we move on to the next one. Couple of things that we do for scale channels, which is making sure that we have the right documentation in place before we launch the product. We have the more structured curriculum like in Polygon Academy, and then we also run our social programs through Polygon TV, as well as you will see the updates coming out through blog posts that get reshared on our social channels. This is the development programs. I think you guys fit the best in this space. Like we run various programs like Dalip. We are also working with the same DevFolio team to bring one of the world's, if not the world, at least India's largest hackathon online. Divyanshu, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
But like with support from the DevFolio team in partnership with these guys. And then how do we just bring this acceleration to your career? And fellowship is also one of those programs which is focused on accelerations. And when I think of the acceleration, I think of any chemical reaction, right? You have the right inputs, you add a catalyst, and you accelerate that chemical reaction. That might take a longer time, whether it's help with additional oxygen, help with the heating process or whatever. So that's what I am hoping that this program will do for all of you, that it helps accelerate the career, whichever way you take it after the program. And it helps build some of those memorable experiences and the memorable friendship over the next several weeks. And this is an important one for us too, right? Once you have the right skills, the right ideas, like how do we help you go into the market and be successful, right? How do we think about supporting you as an individual in terms of landing a role, landing a job? Or how do we help you if you are successful in terms of building your apps? So we have a Polygon Village, a rich program, rich of resources in terms of when you build a product, how do we enable the success through different partners that engage with us? Like you might need the support on accounting, you might need the support on legal system. All those things are not same throughout the world, but how do we help you guys be successful on our programming, right? Or landing a right role in the Web3 space, because our journey does not stop. Our journey starts now and it just continues with you over the long run. No. And Akashji asked me to share something that both Polygon and DevFolio team has some surprises set out for the week. I'm sure that Divyanshu and Akash will share those surprises with you, along with the NFT drop that they have for you. This is just to make it fun, right? The work should be fun. Work should not be just the work. So I'm very sure that you are in good hands when it comes to having the learning over the next several weeks, gaining some experiences from the mentors that gonna come and join the program, and having some fun along the way, so that you are coming out successful as a part of this program and having the right impact on your career, irrespective of the journey that you're going to take after this fellowship program. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here for the next several minutes.
Any questions, anyone? Feel free to unmute yourself or drop it in the chat. If required, I can help read it out as well.
Hi, Dalip.
Hello.
Yeah. Actually, I want some more information on Polygon Village. Can you please elaborate on it?
Say that one more time.
Can you please elaborate a bit more about Polygon Village?
Polygon?
Village.
Okay. I think Akash, we have a Marco coming and joining you guys too. He is the lead for Polygon Village. He is actually the lead for Polygon communities, and this is one of the offerings that we have. Polygon Village is basically a bunch of resources that we bring together that we think are meaningful to our developer community. It includes small scale grant, and it includes voucher that you can use with our partners within the ecosystem. I think the overall value for the package can range anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000. I don't know all the specifics about the program, but when Marco comes on board, he can share more details. And this is a wonderful way for you to, if you have a successful project, how do you take that project to market? Like if you, and I'm assuming that there are certain grants that are available for the design resources as well, marketing and design, that how do you take your product to market? How do you have the experts come out and help you? So Marco will be a wonderful person to tell you each and everything about the program. What a wonderful question, Nitanshu.
Thanks, it sounds good.
Folks, any other questions?
I think Jayesh had a comment.
Yeah. Jay says great initiative helping out with the legal and non-tech fields. Looking forward to that. Any other questions? Anyone else? Dalip, I think we are good.
Good. So thank you very much, all. Looking forward to seeing the wonderful things that you're gonna do over the next several weeks. I'm personally invested in this program. This is the, at least since I have joined the company, this is the first time we are doing it. Looking forward to learn a lot along the way with you guys, from you guys, and both in terms of what we can do better, where else we can celebrate with you guys, and how do we continue to build this strong relationship. Again, thank you, Akash, and thank you, Divyanshu, for bringing this project to market from what was a concept few months ago. So it's wonderful to see, and welcome to you guys. I hope I get more opportunity to talk to you guys. Until then, I'm sure we all gonna make it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Dalip.
Yeah, bye.
Cool. Now we are on to Rahat. For Rahat, do you want to share your screen or Akash? Yeah, all good.
Cool. Just share my screen. Awesome. So GM, everyone, my name is Rahat. I'm a developer advocate over at Polygon. Going to be talking to you a little bit more about some of the developer side of things during the fellowship. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some workshops too. So really looking forward to getting to get to know some of you, helping you out in like building some of the different ideas that you have. A little bit about me. I previously been an engineer for about 3-4 years in the front end space. I was a Solidity freelancer for a little bit. And then I moved into Web3 by doing some front end work for a couple different Web3 companies, as well as doing a lot of work for Developer DAO. And now I'm here as a developer advocate over at Polygon. So I've been through a bunch of different journeys, I guess, getting into Web3. So happy to share some of those experiences with all of you. For now, though, I'm going to give you all sort of like an overview of Ethereum and Polygon. And we're going to start before we jump into things with like the history of the web. If we kind of like look at things of like Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, what are these three things? Web 1 was kind of like this brand new concept of just like being able to share information over the internet, share documentation. And it was fairly anonymous. The information was there. It was free and available, but there wasn't like a lot of interactivity that was available in that space. Then we came in with Web 2. We have things like Facebook, Twitter, and all of a sudden now you have like these ways of interacting, of like changing, mutating the web, of being able to actually have full-on experiences. But you kind of like left behind that initial part of Web 1 where you're like, you have that ability to be anonymous, that ability to have uncensorable content, because now you kind of have a lot of this information in the hands of a lot of these, big companies. Come in Web3, it's like sort of, I view it as like a combination of like the ethos of Web 1 and like the interactivity of Web 2, with the addition of having more decentralization and autonomy, being able to put data in the hands of the consumer, in the hands of creatives, and being able to create just like a new paradigm of interacting with the web. And that started off with a lot with like Ethereum. What is Ethereum? Ethereum was created by a good friend of mine. We used to be roommates. His name is Vitalik. We're not actually roommates. He was at one point like 3 feet away from me, and since then I've considered him my best friend. But hopefully one day we'll actually talk. And so what came about with Ethereum is like, you had Bitcoin, blockchain technology that was kind of like focused on the financial side of things, but Ethereum kind of came in and gave you this ability to actually start building entire applications on top of the blockchain, actually being able to hold, larger amounts of data. Ethereum became this thing that it's called Turing complete, meaning the Ethereum virtual machine can just like execute a number of like random algorithms and code that you throw at it. And now we have just this way of like going beyond just like financial aspects and like going into actual full-fledged applications. But there are issues with Ethereum, right? There are issues with like the network getting clogged. I mean, I'm sure if you've like kind of been looking at Web3, been part of like the Web3 community and ecosystem, if you've ever like tried to mint a very high profile NFT, like the gas costs that come with it, how slow things kind of can be when you're trying to mint an NFT in a certain amount of time. And where Polygon comes, well, before we get into Polygon, Ethereum scaling in general is pretty hard, right? You have your NFT use cases, you have games who want to like build on the blockchain and all of that. And we come to this issue where like we realize that there's no one size fits all scaling solution, right? Everyone has different needs. You have, like I mentioned, the NFT projects, you have your games, etc. There's different ways that these folks need to interact with the blockchain. And there's a whole bunch of different like L2 solutions, right? There's new solutions almost all the time just coming out, people building, and which is awesome. People should always be building, but there's just a lot, and it's hard to figure out like, what's good for me, what's going to be something that scales my specific application. And developers are usually kind of forced to work at different protocols, different architectures. Like, not all solutions follow like a specific paradigm of like how to build. And you just have so many people in this space, like other chains are kind of like aggressively trying to onboard projects because of these like scaling challenges that exist on Ethereum. And that's where Polygon kind of comes in. So what exactly is Polygon? So we're a solution to Ethereum scaling, and we offer we have a bunch of different offerings, but the main primary offering that you'll probably be interacting with is our hybrid plasma proof of stake blockchain, which is super fast, secure, and completely decentralized. A lot of folks might refer to this chain as a side chain, and that is not entirely correct. So if you look at this little image here, you kind of like see a little bit of the architecture behind the proof of stake chain. At the bottom, you have the Matic sidechain. This is where, you interact with Polygon. And then 2 layers above it, you'll see the Ethereum mainnet. That's what's called the root chain. Everything that's done on the Matic chain does eventually get saved to the Ethereum mainnet. How does that happen? In the middle, we have this, what's called a public plasma checkpoint nodes. And what these nodes do is periodically they check the state of the Matic chain and saves like a hash value to the Ethereum root chain. You can kind of think of it like if you're playing a video game, all of a sudden you do like some auto saving feature, right before you fight like a big boss battle or whatever. And it's kind of that same concept. We have these checkpoints where we're saving values of like whatever the current state of the Matic chain is to Ethereum's, to the root chain, which is Ethereum. Because of that, we're built on Ethereum. We're inheriting like the security that Ethereum gives us. So making this, you know, a pure side chain would actually just be handling its own security. We don't want to completely do that. We want to inherit the powerful security that Ethereum already provides, which is why we built out the hybrid plasma proof of stake chain. So this was built in about 2017. At that time, Polygon was known as Matic Network. It was founded, and the primary thought process was that we would scale through Plasma. So a little bit of an overview there. With our kind of goal to make Ethereum infrastructure ready for, you know, everybody, here's some of the benefits you kind of get. 2-second block time finality on the ETH main chain. So when that actual finality happens on ETH main chain, 2 seconds. Average transaction cost 0.00004. That's like a fraction of a penny, like compared to like if I were to like I sometimes do this like presentation of deploying what's called like an ERC20 token, like in like your own cryptocurrency, onto both Ethereum mainnet as well as onto the Polygon mainnet, and just compare the prices. One of my presentations, it cost like $70 to do on Ethereum mainnet. I didn't do it because I didn't want to spend $70. And then I took that same code, copy and pasted it, and deployed it on Polygon mainnet, and it cost me like a fraction of a penny. I did that one because I was fine with spending a fraction of a penny. Other than that, like, you know, everything is EVM compatible. Like everything that you build, like if you've already been building on the Ethereum ecosystem, you don't need to learn anything new. Assets are secured on Ethereum, like I mentioned before, through like our Plasma public checkpointing system. We're focusing on like a high user experience. What does that mean? It's like, you know, if you're trying to onboard someone onto Web3, like how much does it suck to have to like go and, you know, have enough money just to be able to use a specific application, right? You know, that's like one of the big things that is stopping a lot of people, because, you know, Ethereum comes at a premium price. It's not as accessible for folks, and we're just focusing on making sure that people can, you know, like a wider variety of people can come in, actually interact with Polygon, and actually do so in a quick, fast way. We're one of the fastest growing dApps platform for Ethereum, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in a bit. And we're starting to become like a standard for blockchain development for games, NFTs, and DeFi. And just like a huge, large, growing developer community. And it's awesome that y'all are coming in and starting to be part of this developer community. Some notable metrics: 3,000 plus dApps onboarded, 7 million average daily transactions on the network, with a 14 billion plus market cap. A little bit on the journey. I mentioned before in 2017, Matic was founded. That was like the initial name for Polygon. 2019, we had our initial offering on Binance. The actual proof of stake chain launched in June of 2020. End of 2020, we started onboarding a bunch of different games. And in February 2021, we rebranded from Matic to Polygon. Matic still exists. It is the cryptocurrency that is our native currency on the blockchain. So if you see the word Matic, that's what it's referring to. But we also used to be called Matic before we were Polygon. You know, we started having major DeFi protocols onboarded, as well as like, you know, investors like Mark Cuban starting to invest. And then, you know, all of a sudden we started thinking like we need to, going back to like, you know, there is no one size fits all solution, right? So we started working on several more solutions to create things like the Polygon SDK, Polygon acquiring the Hermes network and starting to build up on ZK rollups, you know, getting further funding in 2022 and beyond. And a little bit on like that, like we come back to this point of just like, you know, there are so many competitors looking for a market share from Ethereum. And once again, like I mentioned, coming back to like, there's no one size fits all scaling solution, right? Things are completely changing all the time. There's no formalized frameworks. There's just all these different solutions from all these different protocols that are constantly coming out. rather than being just a one single solution, like just having that proof of stake chain, we decided, okay, we're going to be a suite of solutions. So rather than you trying to build your application to fit a tool, we want you to be able to pick a tool that fits your needs and your applications. So that's why we've got things like Polygon SDK, Avail, our enterprise solutions, the proof of stake chain that I mentioned, as well as ZK rollups like Hermes and Nightfall. And I'm throwing out a whole bunch of like terms and terminology at you. Some of it might not make sense, but as we go through, I'm hoping that, a lot of it does start making a little bit more sense. But this is Polygon's multi-chain ecosystem. So the benefits of using some of these solutions is like the ETH compatibility again, and I'll touch on this like a little bit further a little bit later in the presentation as well. But scalability, user experience, like I mentioned before, security, whether you're building your own kind of chain, which we'll talk about, as well as inheriting from Ethereum and getting that security, and like the overall developer experience as well. If we look at the different solutions that are available today, Polygon Proof of Stake, which was again our primary offering, is live, available. Polygon Edge is another one of our solutions, which is also live. It is for creating sovereign chains, meaning that if you wanted to create like your own EVM compatible customized blockchain, Polygon Edge would be kind of like what helps you do that. This is more for like, say, like larger companies, like a Web2, like a large Web2 company that has a lot of customers who they want to service, and they want like their own private kind of like block space and ability to service their customers. That's probably a solution for those folks. We have things like Polygon Avail, data availability, which is coming out later in Q4 of 2022. Polygon Hermes is live. It is a ZK rollup. And then there are other things. Polygon Nightfall is slated for Q2 of 2022, but I think you can right now you can play around with like a beta for the mainnet. So if that's something you're interested in looking at, again, these are like more enterprise solutions. And then like Q1 of next year, we have things like Maiden and Zero coming out. So this highly composable network that works with DeFi, NFT, gaming, DAOs, and like thousands of other projects. And another thing to kind of like call out here is like not only is this full ecosystem supported with all of these solutions, but they're supported with tutorials from folks like me. And beyond that, beyond the education bit, we have grants and investments. We don't just want to teach you how to use the products. We want to see you succeed in using the product in using these products and building out your own. So that's why we're trying to be there kind of like throughout the whole step of the way in this process. So if we look at the Ethereum scaling spectrum, Polygon aggregates like several of these solution types that cover like every use case. So Polygon Edge, I mentioned before, is kind of like a standalone chain. It's when you want to build something custom that is tailored specific to your needs. Cost is pretty low, but security is something you kind of have to maintain yourself a little bit. And then we come to like the middle of the spectrum with like Polygon POS, which is probably what most of you folks will be interacting with. It's secured by Ethereum. It's fairly easy to use and available. Then Polygon Avail, which is similar to solutions like Celestia, ETH 2.0 data shards, which is coming out and more. And then towards the end of the spectrum, you have like zero knowledge solutions, which is going to be like, higher security, data availability, etc. And there's a suite of different solutions there that are, once again, secured and backed by Ethereum. And there are several scalability solutions which are part of the Ethereum ecosystem. And for Polygon, we're just remain committing to scaling Ethereum capabilities and bringing the world to Ethereum. Ethereum is the settlement layer for everything that we do. We're providing the ability to create transactions, to do your calculations, to actually create experiences around Ethereum. So the Polygon ecosystem, a little bit more on that. So you'll see a whole bunch of dApps listed here. All of these dApps have trusted and are building on top of Polygon. The Polygon POS chain has over 19,000 dApps deployed, and there's at least like another 1,000 in like active development. And once y'all get started, I'm expecting that number to go straight to the moon even further. Like this is a number that always goes up, and y'all are proof of that. And why is it doing that? Why is, you know, the proof of stake chain such a good thing to build on? It's easier for developers. If you've already been developing in sort of like the EVM kind of space, there are no new skills that are required to build on Polygon compared to Ethereum. You're using the same dev tools. You're using Solidity, JavaScript. You're using Truffle, Hardhat, whatever it is. Everything that exists in Ethereum tooling is compatible with Polygon. So if you see some shiny cool tool that is being used to build dApps on Ethereum, you can use that on Polygon as well. And the cool thing is, like, if you already have a dApp, you can use Polygon as a way to supercharge your UX. You can deposit assets from Ethereum to Polygon, you know, transfer, do calculations, whatever you need to do between accounts on Polygon, and then send them back over to Ethereum if you want. And you can use one cool thing that I love is meta transactions to make interactions gasless. And a really good example of that out in production right now is with Lens Protocol. If you've ever used Lens Protocol, they're like a Web3 social platform that people are using primitives to like build, you know, social media on top of. If you use their API, everything is gasless because everything is kind of done using meta transactions on the back end. It's not completely gasless. Gas is being paid in the back end, but you as a user don't need to do that. And that this is something that's actually economically viable on Polygon for creating powerful UXs like that, where you're still interacting with the blockchain, but not having to worry about having, you know, funds in your account to cover gas, etc. So definitely want to open this up now for a Q&A. I know I threw a lot of information out there at you folks. So any questions you have, happy to get started in answering those.
Yeah, so I have a question. My name is Venkatesh. So yeah, Rahat, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Yeah, so the question is that since we have Polygon and Ethereum 2.0 is on the go, okay? So yeah, so I just wanted to know who would be the winner between Polygon and Ethereum 2.0. Like,
yeah, I don't think so. I don't view Ethereum as a competitor whatsoever. Again, we're building on top of Ethereum. Everything that we do eventually gets saved onto Ethereum. We're just making Ethereum more usable for folks. So if you look at even like what the sort of the merge or everything that's like coming up now, the initial merge that we're hoping happens in the coming months, what that's going to do is it's going to switch Ethereum from proof of work over to proof of stake, which is what we're already on. And that is going to reduce, you know, energy usage on Ethereum by about 99%, which is awesome. It's coming closer to like what we're doing on the Polygon proof of stake chain. However, a very popular misconception is that fees will be lower. This is not true. You still will pay the same gas fees that you've always been paying. So the user experience from a sustainability aspect will be improved. The user experience will not. So you still have reasons to use Polygon for, you know, that, you know, specific user experience. And eventually, you know, they have other things on the sort of like, you know, roadmap for things like sharding, etc., to like help, you know, mitigate a lot of those overall.
and yet another
fees.
question.
Yeah.
So the question is that while Polygon is doing so good in the Ethereum, like it has been based on Ethereum network, and Polygon is doing so good, and what was the need for Ethereum 2.2? Is it they're creating a competition or their rivalry between, like they are at the same side, and there is no necessity for Ethereum 2.2? So why is it like that? I just want to know.
There is definitely still a necessity for Ethereum 2.0. Like I mentioned before, you know, we're definitely not rivals. We're building around Ethereum. One of the things, like one of our founders like mentions a lot is like, you know, what the power behind Polygon is Ethereum. The more improvements Ethereum makes, the more improvements are made on Polygon, because we're inheriting from Ethereum, we're building on top of it. And this goes back again to what I was mentioning before of like, there is no one size fits all solution. That's why we have a suite of different tools, different types of solutions to build on top of Ethereum. So like, Ethereum kind of serves as that base layer of like, where a lot of this information exists. But to really get that scalability, to have, your your huge Web2 companies who want to like dabble in blockchain and use this type of, ecosystem, even Ethereum 2.0 alone is not going to be enough to service them. They need other solutions that work on top of it, to have like those transactions, that logic happening either off chain or on like a separate layer that eventually boils down to Ethereum. Sorry, I just like hit my microphone. But yeah, it's not a competition. It works in tandem with Polygon.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm seeing like the Polygon team is looking bullish on ZK technologies. So apart from the scaling, like application of ZK, what other application do you see that would be viable in the
Yeah,
ecosystem?
absolutely. I mean, ZK technology, I mean, there's a couple of, like, there's one product that we announced that should be also hopefully coming out soon, is like, Polygon ID, like the ability to have something like a KYC without actually knowing your customer, being able to like actually provide like ways for folks to verify themselves, but also keep their identity kind of like safe. And I think identity is going to be a huge thing coming up in like, as we like further adopt blockchain technology. We sort of like come from the fact that, folks in this space like to be anonymous or pseudonymous. Like, even if you're going back to like Bitcoin, like we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is even to this day. Like, how do we like make sure we keep that ethos alive, in this ecosystem? And that's where like I think ZK technology can like really shine, and is part of like the products that we're building out.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. If there are no other questions, I do just have one more thing to share. Just want to make sure that folks are aware of like the different places that you can get support. Definitely, first of all, check out our website, Polygon Technology, that has links to our documentation. If you want to learn more about the different products that I mentioned, if you want to dive into like setting yourself up and just playing around with some of the tech, that's where you definitely want to go first. And follow us on social media, places like on Twitter. 0x Polygon Developers is where you'll see like a lot of developer focused content from Polygon. We have Telegram, Discord, YouTube, Polygon TV, as well as LinkedIn. Definitely keep up with us there. I'm also pretty active on Twitter, so like if you ever need questions answered, I try my best to be as responsive as possible. But yeah, thank you everybody who attended. I'm really excited to see what all of you are going to be doing and building in the future.
Thanks a lot, Rahat, for giving such a great introduction to the Ethereum and Polygon ecosystem, how Polygon is helping scale Ethereum. And I'm sure you could also maybe share the slides later on with the fellows if they would like to sort of revisit. And also, like, we have recorded this call so that if folks, if one of you would like to revisit, pick up some points, and obviously there's help from the Polygon team to take this. And also, like, a quick shout out, I think we have Saksham with us from the Polygon team, who will also be there on our Discord. So, Saksham, do we have you?
Hi everyone. If there's anything, you can DM me, or we will be there in Discord server. There's some issue with my camera, so won't able to turn on.
All right, that's it for the introductory session. We'll be sharing the slides over really soon. And as for the next steps, we will be releasing our week 1 assignment like right after this call. So keep an eye out on Discord. We'll also be updating it on our fellow guide so that you all can get started. And just to let you know that I believe from 7 p.m. IST to 8 p.m. IST, every day I would be available on Discord at least for like 15-20 minutes. So I'll be available on one of the Hangout channels. So in case if you have any queries, want to talk to me directly, feel free to be available during those hours. And we'll see you then. All the best, everyone.
Thank you.
We have a request from Divyanshu.
Could anyone give me a beat? Who can beatbox?
Do we have any beatboxes here? No, there must be someone there just like really.
We can.
All right. Since y'all asked, I've never actually said yes to this request before, but I'll say yes this one time. Cool. Yeah, so this is something I'm actually writing for a song that I'm putting out. It's called like a builder's anthem. I will remove some of the strong language in it. But yeah. This ain't hello, this ain't a star, this ain't no effing welcome. I'm not the same. I take these bars and I just effing kill them. Smile saluting like a Twitter and a crypto movement. Unicodes are all attentive to how I come and do this. Y'all got PFPs? I don't need them, see? I speculate for fun, but now I'm done. You hearing me? You're stuck in cycles. I'm the alpha leading packs. It's okay, you'll be disciples. Hear it first on all these tracks. No more delaying. FOMO's away in. We're here to stay in. From rich to the days in. Numbers go up and numbers go down. Let's see who builds before the bull is charging around. Let's see what skills we can wield. No speculation, it's time to build. No flashy entries or weakened wills. We're just grabbing wrenches while cycles chill. All those chains up for mass appeal. All those chains up for mass appeal. Yeah.
Great lines, man. Very nice one. Builder's anthem. Really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, Rahat.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, folks, we'll see you on Discord. Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.